I told Dabo before the game, I thought the atmosphere was incredible. It reminded me of a playoff or a conference championship type atmosphere because it just felt that way. It was electric at the hotel, the drive-in. It was special. I mean, to me, you could say it was a lot like an SEC football game, but it wasn't like one last year because none of them were quite like that.
Coach, what I'm hearing from you is it just sounds like UCLA was tougher tonight.
I'm not saying that.
I basically said that we'd tried every way known to man to lose it. Just for fun, let's try something different. Let's go ahead and do our job. Let's go ahead and make it look like Wednesday's practice because we've got nothing to lose.
So it was good to go through adversity, and same defensively. Well, not really. That just pisses me off. Yeah.
Obviously, you thought Blaise Aldridge could come in and help based on what you saw in his film at Rice. Did you expect him to make this kind of impact this quickly?
You seen his hair? If you're going to wear hair like that, you better be a player. So, yeah, I kind of expected it.
Do I have a quarterback controversy?
I would never ask myself that because I coach the quarterbacks a bunch. They're not very controversial guys. They're both really nice guys. So.
Mm-hmm. Welcome into the latest episode of that SEC podcast. I'm your host, Michael Bratton. I go by SEC Mike on Twitter. And we're coming to you as a late night one. Ole Miss just beat Louisville in Atlanta, 43-24 game. Literally just wrapped up. And how can you go anywhere other than the Ole Miss defense? Now, again, we can't take away too much from what we're seeing week one because we don't know how good any of these opponents are. But, it's not like this is Akron or Rice or Bishop Sycamore. I mean, this is a legitimate ACC team. I know Louisville's not that great, but Ole Miss defense really turned some heads, shut them out in the first half. I know Louisville ended up with 24 points, but much of it came in junk time. I mean, this thing was never in doubt. Matt Corral looks as sharp as he ever has. And, hey, let's credit these coaches. Without Lane Kiffin there, we wondered if that would be an issue. Clearly not. Interesting move there. He put the special teams coordinator in charge of the team and let DJ Durkin run the defense and left Jeff Lubby to run the offense there. So, I've not quite seen that done yet, but I guess no need to name an interim. They probably had all their game plans ready to go, considering this is a season opener. No need to change up everything, and hey, it worked. Ole Miss came out right out the gate, drove the length of the field, that tempo, too much for Louisville to handle. But again, the biggest takeaway for me, the defense. Chance Campbell, the transfer from Maryland, he looks like the real deal. This DeAndre Prince, never even heard of that guy. He was making plays all over the field. Big interception. It was early in the game, but it kind of sealed the deal for the Rebels. Matt Corral, 381 yards passing and a touchdown. He did a lot of damage with his legs as well. 55 yards and a touchdown. Snoop Connor, my God. Snoop about killed a man there in the second half. Louisville defender was not ready for Snoop to come bowling down. And, I thought even Jerrion Ely, 12 carries, 37 yards. He did have 3 catches, 51. They didn't even need him to really get going. He, a lot slower. I was hoping he would have kind of a breakout performance here on the national stage. Again, I think that time is coming for him, but that was just maybe one thing. I don't want to say disappointing because they didn't really even need him, but that's kind of something I was hoping to see. And Drummond has stepped up. Man, my God, 9 catches, 177 yards, and a touchdown. He had one of the most incredible catches of the season there on the near the boundary there right before halftime. So Ole Miss rolling, SEC now 12-2 the opening weekend of the season. And again, the main takeaway, I know it's early. We're not trying to get too excited here over just one game of action, but the Rebels, if they got a defense like it looks like they do now, all of a sudden, that's all you hear about the Rebels. They got a great offense. Matt Corral's great, but maybe that butt's gone away. I'm not saying they're They don't got Georgia's defense. They don't even have Alabama's defense, but that's not what they need. They just need a capable unit that can force turnovers. And it wasn't just the turnovers. I mean, they held Louisville to 155 rushing yards. I mean, that's not great, but again, most of that came in the second half. 6 of 15, though, they limited them on third down. That was the takeaway of the day for me there. 2 turnovers forced, 13 points, 2 sacks, 4 tackles for loss. They were just flying all over the field there in the first half, and they did look. Well, I don't want to go too far. I was going to say they did look as good as Georgia in the first half, but I think Louisville, obviously, a long way from Clemson, but they made Louisville look terrible in the first half, and it results in the first big win of the season for Ole Miss, probably the first of many. So, that's my immediate thoughts on it. But we have got a loaded show, so let's jump to that.